The elf princess, Kasana, returned to her tribe with a sense of urgency. As she approached, one of the elves greeted her excitedly, acknowledging her return. The elf tried to stop her from heading to the clan mother's chambers, warning her about interrupting. However, Kasana, filled with purpose, declared that she had urgent news to report and brushed past the elf, determined to meet her mother. Upon reaching the clan mother's chambers, Kasana burst through the door, shouting her urgent message, only to be met with an unexpected and shocking sight. Her mother, the clan mother, was engaged in an intimate gathering with several male elves. Kasana was taken aback, immediately apologizing for the intrusion. She tried to withdraw, but the clan mother, noticing Kasana's distress, asked her to stay, recognizing that Kasana had rushed in for a reason. Regaining her composure, Kasana informed her mother about the goblin tribe in the forest, explaining that she had encountered something alarming earlier that morning. She had found a black-haired giant bear, one of the fiercest creatures in the enchanted forest, gnarled to the bone. Signs of a violent hunt were evident, with goblin footprints scattered all around. Kasana emphasized that goblins shouldn't have been able to kill such a beast, revealing that something had changed among them. Kasana further mentioned witnessing a recent power shift in the goblin tribe, where the old goblin chief had been killed by a younger one. This new leadership might be responsible for the unexpected aggression and skill of the goblins. Hearing this, the clan mother pondered the situation, dismissing the goblins as weak and low-level creatures, questioning what could possibly make them a threat. The clan mother then ordered Kasana to take a group and clean up the goblins, but to spare some of them, as the tribe had use for their hearts in potions that benefited the male elves. Kasana agreed, though nervously. The clan mother, noticing Kasana's hard work over the past few days, offered her the company of a male elf as a reward. Kasana, flustered, declined, stating that she would investigate further and report back if she discovered more about the goblins. She quickly left the chambers, eager to avoid the awkward conversation. Meanwhile, in the goblin camp, the goblins were preparing for their own plans. One of them reported that the enchanted forest had around 30 tall elf treehouses, each representing a target. Their leader, Lin Tian, praised the goblins' work, promising rewards when they eventually conquered the elf tribe. The goblins laughed and celebrated, readying their weapons for the upcoming raid. Lin Tian, having taken over after the priest's death, had led the goblins to hunt monsters and mine for resources, steadily increasing their power and skill. As they devoured creatures in the forest, the goblins gained new abilities like giant fang attacks, stone skin, stealth, and venom secretion, growing stronger with each passing day. The status window of one of the goblins now displayed impressive stats, showing their newfound strength. Lin Tian, calculating their chances, noted that the goblins' overall strength had surpassed the elves. However, he remained cautious. Knowing they were about to raid elf territory, he decided to use his system's simulation skill to predict the outcome. The simulation began, placing Lin Tian's goblin army in the scenario of a night raid. However, to his dismay, the simulation showed that the elves had ambushed the goblins, leading them into a trap. Lin Tian himself was captured and hanged as a warning to others. The simulation ended with a score of 0, showing that his plan was under someone else's control all along. Reflecting on this, Lin Tian realized there must be spies or some deeper manipulation at play within the elf tribe. Using his heightened goblin senses, he began to search for clues and eventually detected something. He overheard elves discussing their discovery of the goblins' plan to raid the tribe. They realized that the goblin tribe had changed significantly in just a few days and needed to report back to the clan mother immediately. Before the elves could escape, arrows flew through the air, hitting one of them. Kasana, weakened by the poison, realized she couldn't use her strength. The goblins rejoiced, recognizing they had caught a female elf. Lin Tian, pleased with their success, ordered his goblins to capture the elves and bring them back to camp. With no strength to resist, Kasana and her companion were taken prisoner. The goblins responded eagerly, carrying out their leader's commands. Lin Tian ordered the goblins to wake Kasana, One of the goblins complied, throwing water on her to force her awake. Lin Tian, observing her closely, seemed satisfied. Lin Tian grabbed Kasana, inspecting her with a careful eye. His subordinate gleefully informed him that Kasana had been reserved especially for him, as the goblin had been eagerly waiting for Lin Tian's arrival. Lin Tian commented on the physiological effects of goblin fluids, noting that they had a paralyzing and stimulating effect on female creatures, giving them an advantage over the matriarchal elves. Kasana, struggling to speak, called Lin Tian a lousy creature, accusing him of daring to kidnap her and attack the elves. She warned him that her mother's kindness had spared the goblins before, and if he harmed her, her mother would not let him go. Lin Tian laughed dismissively, amused by the idea of the elves' kindness. He pushed Kasana to the ground, asserting that the elves Kasana spoke of were quite different from those his subordinates described. His men, he said, may be foolish, but they did not lie. Lin Tian pointed out that if the elves had truly wanted to, they could have wiped out the goblins in the forest long ago. The fact that there were still many goblins living in the forest meant that it wasn't purely out of kindness that they had been spared. Without explaining further, Lin Tian declared that he would lead his tribe that night to uncover the truth. He ordered his goblins to divide up the two dead elves and devour them, absorbing their skills. He then turned to Kasana with a menacing look in his eyes. Kasana's voice trembled as she screamed, "No, don't," her body shaking in desperation. Despite her frantic pleas for him to stop, Lin Tian moved forward with intent. After he was done with her, the system displayed that he reached the level cap of +30. And since his aptitude has reached its maximum level, it has been converted into +50 HP, +10 strength, and +10 defense. And he acquired elf skill, stealth. Acquired elf skill, night vision. The scene shifts back to the elves, where a male elf, exhausted, tells the clan mother he can't go on any longer. The clan mother agrees that they should stop for the day, noting that the potion they were using was also done. She lamented that if she had known, she would have captured more goblins the last time. Concerned, the clan mother asked if Kasana had returned. Another elf confirmed that Kasana had left a while ago and should have returned by now. The clan mother decided to send warriors to the goblin tribe to support Kasana and take the opportunity to kill some goblins and strengthen their tribe's warriors. Suddenly, Lin Tian's voice startled the elves as he announced that Kasana wouldn't be returning that night. One of the male elves demanded to know who was there, but before they could react, arrows were fired, striking one of the elves. Panic spread as the elves realized the attackers were goblins. Lin Tian entered the room, proclaiming that Kasana was already in his custody and would soon bear his child, stating that they were about to become family. Horrified, the clan mother demanded to know what he had done to her daughter. Lin Tian mocked her, suggesting she already knew the answer. The clan mother, enraged, tried to attack Lin Tian, but found herself unable to move. Her strength was gone. Lin Tian revealed that the arrow she had been hit with was covered in goblin fluid, which would paralyze her quickly. He advised her to behave herself. The clan mother cursed, realizing what had happened. Lin Tian remarked that he had overheard them talking about upgrading and stimulating their warriors. He accused the elves of using the goblins all along and said it was no surprise that the goblins were now seeking revenge. The clan mother realized that this goblin must be the new leader Kasana had mentioned earlier. Lin Tian ordered his goblins to kill the elves, and chaos erupted as the elves screamed for help. Lin Tian coolly suggested it was time to talk about cooperation. The clan mother, horrified by the scene, watched as her people begged for their lives, crying out for the Holy Mother to save them from being taken by the goblins. The clan mother demanded to know what Lin Tian had done to her tribe. He responded that the goblins were no longer weaker than the elves, and she had no ability to resist them. Lin Tian argued that when the elves were in power, they slaughtered goblins, and now that the goblins had become stronger, it was only natural for them to seek revenge. He advised her to face reality. Lin Tian then declared that he needed more and stronger goblin warriors and that he still had use for the clan mother. Whether she lived or died after fulfilling that purpose, he said, would depend on her attitude as the Holy Mother. In desperation, the clan mother pleaded with him not to kill her children, begging for their lives. She offered to do whatever Lin Tian wanted, even going so far as to say she was willing to bring her children to him and give birth to his offspring, hoping to save them. The scene opened with Kasana and the Holy Mother trapped inside a cage, their captors, the goblins, having shown no mercy. Kasana, her voice trembling with despair, turned to the Holy Mother and expressed her fear. She asked how even the Holy Mother had been captured and wondered aloud about their future, her uncertainty palpable. The Holy Mother, with regret in her voice, admitted that it was her fault. She had underestimated the goblins' strength, never expecting them to surpass the elves in power. She acknowledged that the elves were now defenseless, with only unarmed women and children left to protect their kind. Their survival, she explained with sorrow, depended on breeding with the goblins to preserve their bloodline. It was a harsh reality they could not escape from, and she resigned herself to the fact that they would have to live within the goblin tribe from that point forward. Kasana could not hold back her tears as the gravity of their situation sank in. She called out to the Holy Mother, her voice breaking under the weight of her sorrow. At that moment, Lin Tian approached the cage. His presence was commanding and unfeeling as he informed them that they were to remain inside and wait to give birth. He promised to arrange their meals every day, but warned them that anyone who dared act against his will would be met with ruthless consequences, even death. The Holy Mother, maintaining her composure, acknowledged his authority and expressed her understanding. She then made a request, her tone soft yet pleading. These were her children, she said, and she asked to be allowed to take care of them herself. Lin Tian appeared momentarily surprised by her request, but then wondered aloud if her plea had anything to do with her innate attribute. He mused over the attribute of boundless maternal love before agreeing to let her care for the children. Goblin Yu, who stood by Lin Tian, suggested that the Holy Mother could help with taking care of the children going forward, which Lin Tian accepted. In his mind, Lin Tian contemplated the future. He believed that once the elven children grew up, they would add significant strength to the goblin tribe. Eager to assess the impact of mating with the Holy Mother, he opened his status window. A notification appeared, informing him that he had received a boost in his attributes, an increase in health, strength, and defense. His thoughts turned to his newfound power, and he marveled at how mating with stronger individuals directly converted their strength into his own attributes. His conclusion was clear. He could continue to increase his power simply by mating with stronger beings and ensuring they gave birth. He reflected on his growing strength and the looming threat of Loader. His current power was nearly enough to deal with him, and Lin Tian vowed to take action when the opportunity presented itself. Half a month later, the goblins gathered to witness the elves giving birth. The cries of newborns filled the air, but the elves were far from celebrating. One elf, in particular, recoiled in horror at the sight of her child. Disgusted, she screamed, rejecting the baby that had been born from her. She declared that she wanted nothing to do with the child, finding it terrifying and unnatural. Lin Tian, unfazed by the emotional outburst, turned his attention to Goblin Yu. He calmly inquired about the number of newborns so far, and Yu estimated there to be around 30 to 40. At the same time, Kasana was struggling with her own labor, her body weakening with each painful contraction. The Holy Mother knelt beside her, urging her not to give up, telling her to push harder. But Kasana, her energy nearly depleted, cried out that she could not continue. She was exhausted and on the brink of death. Panicked, the Holy Mother turned to Lin Tian, begging him to save Kasana. Lin Tian responded swiftly, ordering Goblin Yu to help spread Kasana's legs. When the Holy Mother questioned his ability to handle such a situation, Lin Tian reassured her that he knew enough to manage it. Kasana, in her weakened state, protested feebly, expressing her reluctance. But Lin Tian, now focused entirely on saving her, silenced her objections. insisting that the children she carried were his as well. After a tense few moments, Cassandra finally gave birth, and Lin Tian announced that she was safe. Goblin Yu praised Lin Tian for his efforts, calling him amazing for saving Cassandra. Lin Tian, however, downplayed the situation, stating that it was no big deal. Their brief moment of relief was interrupted by a commotion nearby. Two goblins were attempting to force themselves upon another elf, laughing as they jostled for dominance. Without hesitation, Lin Tian swiftly killed one of them, making it clear that he would not tolerate such behavior. He reminded the tribe that the elves were to be left alone until they had fully rested and recovered. Anyone who disobeyed this command, he warned, would face death. Turning his attention back to the elves, Lin Tian decided that each of them would receive an extra portion of fruit. The Holy Mother, observing him closely, remarked that he was different from ordinary goblins. Lin Tian, his demeanor pragmatic, replied that this was how things should be. As long as the elves behaved themselves, they would be treated better. Later, Lin Tian's system began to simulate a new scenario for him. The current scenario focused on his capture of the elf tribe and the consequences of their pregnancies. The system highlighted how the offspring of the elves would have stronger attributes than regular goblins. And with the tribe's expansion, Lin Tian began to plan his next move. He wanted revenge on Loader and his group, who had caused him so much trouble in the past. The system presented him with three options: take action himself and attempt to kill Loader, lead the goblins to seek revenge and massacre Bright Town, or wait and observe until the time was right. Lin Tian, always preferring decisive action, chose to take matters into his own hands. The simulation played out as he infiltrated Bright Town and located Loader. He attacked swiftly, nearly killing Loader in the process. But before he could deliver the final blow, Loader's master, the Sword Saintess, intervened, saving him and killing Lin Tian. The system summarized the situation for Lin Tian, warning him that he had faced an opponent far beyond his current abilities. His attempt to kill Loader failed and he ended up dead. The system advised him to be cautious in the future. Frustrated by his inability to finish Loader off, Lin Tian cursed under his breath. The appearance of the Sword Saintess had complicated his plans, and he didn't expect Loader and his group to leave Bright Town. Tracking them down again would be a significant challenge. Determined not to let this setback deter him, Lin Tian resolved to act quickly. Shortly after, he approached Goblin Yu with important news. He informed her that he would be leaving the tribe for a few days to venture into human territory. He trusted her to take command of the tribe in his absence, knowing that the warriors respected her second only to him. The elf Holy Mother, overhearing, was alarmed by his plan. She warned him that if the humans discovered him, they would hunt him down and kill him. Lin Tian's expression darkened as he explained that he had a personal vendetta against the humans. He had no choice but to seek revenge. Before he could leave, the Holy Mother interjected, cautioning him against acting recklessly. She offered to cast a stealth spell on him, making it easier for him to pass undetected through human lands. Lin Tian, who had anticipated her offer, smiled inwardly. He didn't expect the Holy Mother to care about his safety, and he commented sarcastically on how rare it was for her to show concern. The Holy Mother, however, made it clear that her only concern was for her children. She feared that if Lin Tian died, the remaining goblins would become even more cruel to the elves. Only if Lin Tian returned safely would they have a chance at survival. Lin Tian thought to himself that the Holy Mother certainly knew how to ensure her survival in this dangerous world. Goblin Yu, meanwhile, assured Lin Tian that she would take good care of the tribe while he was away. With a final word, Lin Tian left the tribe, promising to return soon.